Hey CNCers, today I'm going to show you what to expect when using the Auto Touchplate. I'll answer some frequent questions asked on our social platforms, and at the end of the video, I'll show some common errors you may see so you know how to solve them. By the end, you will all be masters at using the Auto Touchplate. We'll begin doing the XYZ probing with a tool bit of a known size. In this case, I'm using a 1/4 inch or 6.35mm bit. For all probing, bring the bit so it's slightly above the touch plate, otherwise you might get an error. This is the most common use for the touch plate if you know the size of your bit. You can select from the drop down or you can type it in. When you run the program, it'll touch the bottom, the right side, then the back before finishing. Once complete, your machine is zeroed and ready to go. When you use the probing feature, the machine does all the work. Sometimes the size of the bit isn't exact from the manufacturer. The auto feature provides a higher degree of accuracy. The bonus is you don't have to change the drop-down menu between bit changes. It's a little longer process as it touches all four sides to calculate for the size of the bit. The process has been sped up here to save some time. For those of us that do a lot of V-carving, the tip feature is perfect for this application. It calculates the bit size using the bevels on the Auto Touch Plate. It couldn't be easier. As always, bring the bit slightly above the center of the touch plate to begin the process. Once again, I've sped up the process here for time. Sometimes you might start in the center of your material. Only Z probing will be used. Eyeball the center of your bit to your center marks as I've done here. Flip the touch plate over, then begin to Z probe. Just a reminder that when you do probing using the touch plate, you do not have to zero manually. The machine has done it for you and you are ready to go. When running a job with multiple cutting tools, and you are switching from the first tool to the next tool, don't do an XYZ probe. Your next tool will be a different height, and only do the Z probe. The X and Y coordinates will have remained unchanged from when you did your first tool setup. Sometimes during probing, you're going to get a couple of alarms. Here they are. If you received an alarm 1, it means the machine has tried to move into the location for probing but has triggered the limit switches. Move the material away from the limit switches and try again, or try a different probe operation. An alarm 2 is triggered when the machine might move greater than what the software thinks it can move. Some triggers for an alarm 2 can be very thin material when doing a Z probe, or if it's trying to go into the negative area past the home position. To get past the alarm 2, you can move the material farther away from the home position, increase your maximum travel. If you can't move your material, you can't increase the maximum travel, or you have thin material, temper or disable the soft limit settings in the firmware. Getting an alarm 4 means the probe wasn't in the expected state at the beginning of the operation. In this case, my bit was touching the plate before any movement was able to take place. Reposition your bit and try again. An Alarm 5 error code is a probe fail. The probe did not contact the workpiece within the program distance. In this example here, just lower the bit and make it closer to the touch plate. This is a rare occurrence, but it does happen if you have a setting in your firmware set. The issue comes with just some math that's not being calculated correctly. What happens is that it doesn't go all the way to the center for the y-axis, and the workpiece starting point will be miscalculated, sometimes even crash. This happens in earlier versions of gSender, or you can fix it within the current gSender you have right now. Disable your $13 report in inches in the firmware. There's a lot of great resources on our site, so check us out at cnc.com.